Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. As you can see, I'm ready for work. I don't start until 2 o'clock. It's currently 10 to 12. I'll be leaving in about half hour to get the bus, then the train, la-di-da-di-da. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about the pros and cons of being a bus driver. I'll be sharing my own personal experience and some of the key points to take into account when thinking about becoming a bus driver and starting a career as a bus driver. I'm just about to leave for work very shortly, so let's get into the video. While I'm out waiting for the bus, let's take a look at the first pro and con. So the first pro is job security. One of the biggest advantages to becoming a bus driver is job security. Sorry about the wind noise. The demand for public transport is always growing, and it's never going to stop. People are always going to need public transport. So you're always going to need bus drivers and train drivers. As long as you're competent and don't do anything silly, you've got a job for life. Or at least until they decide to develop driverless buses. So yeah, there's a big pro to becoming a bus driver, job security. Let's have a look at one of the cons as well while we're waiting. So one of the big cons is long hours. On my contract it actually says up to nine and a half hours, I think it says, but on the 4-day rotors it can be like 12 hours, and at Stagecoach it can be 12-13 hours. So yeah, you're looking at long hours, and if you go coach driving it can be even longer. You're also looking at shift work. You can be starting one day at 4:30 in the morning. Like for me, you'll have seen in previous videos, sometimes I'm getting up at 3 in the morning to go to work. Other times, like last week, I wasn't getting home until 1 in the morning. So yeah, it can really affect your work-life balance, and you can get quite tired because of it. Working hours is one of the big cons. Obviously buses run, certainly in Brighton, they're 24 hours. You do have different rotors that you can go on, you know, but the majority are either on 4-day or the main line. And yeah, shift work, it's something that I'm not too keen on. Right, I'm going to wait for my bus, and I'll do the next couple in a little bit. Okay, so another pro, I'm currently in Patron by the way, another pro is the pay isn't that bad for what we do. Like, you don't need any form of college education or anything like that. I believe the pay ranges from anywhere around £11 an hour to around £16 an hour. So yeah, the pay's not too bad. Another con is it's a stressful job. You're dealing with traffic, you get caught up with traffic all the time. You've got passengers that can be trying. You get some gnarly people on board. So yeah, that's definitely a negative. Obviously, you've got a time schedule to keep to as well. The longer people hold you up, the later you get, the more people you get. The more people you get, the more chances there are of getting someone that's not favourable, shall we say. You have to stay focused. You have to keep your focus. You have to keep your concentration. You can't let it roll you. If you let it roll you, you end up having an accident, and then someone could get hurt or worse. That's difficult people is definitely a con. Got to go up to Hangleton and back to Patcham, and then I'll run in. I'll see you in a little bit. I'm now up in Hangleton, and the weather is pretty grim. That should be another thing to add to the con of the stress. Is the weather can be a bit difficult. But anyway, let's do the next pro. You get certain benefits to being a bus driver. So some of these benefits include free bus travel for you and your family, pension, and paid holiday, 28 days a year. Some places give you a little bit more. I think at Brighton and Hove, once you've been here 5 years, you get an extra 5 days, and at Stagecoach on their contract A, you get 6 weeks a year. So obviously, paid time off, always a pro, isn't it? So let's look at the next con. Safety concerns. So as a bus driver, you are responsible for the safety of the vehicle, everyone on the vehicle and everyone around the vehicle. This supersedes everything else. Most laws are in conjunction with this. You have to take note of your driver hours as well. That comes under safety as well. And, obviously you've got to be aware of any emergencies that come up and react appropriately. You've got to drive according to the weather conditions and so on and so forth. So yeah, that sort of goes along with the stress. Like obviously that all adds stress to your day. It is a very stressful job. Just to reiterate what I said over in Patcham, when you put everything together, there's a lot of responsibility on the shoulders of the driver, and along with the difficult passengers. I mean, the majority of passengers are fine. They get on, they go sit down, they just want to get to where they're going. But you do get a few that can be a bit difficult. So it's just something to be aware of. Got time to do another one. Union protection is definitely a pro. I think most bus companies have unions in them. Being part of a union, regardless, not just in the bus industry, but in any industry, being part of a union is a great idea because it just gives you that bit of protection, legal advice and all the rest of it. And to be fair, most companies should want a union in place because it makes sure that they act legally as well. So it's a win-win to have a union. One of the biggest downsides of bus driving is the training and the licenses. To become a bus driver, you have to have a certain amount of training. You then have to pass a test. There's no guarantee you're going to pass that test, so you won't be offered a job if you don't pass the test. So there is that to consider. It's not guaranteed. Just because you get a place in a training school doesn't guarantee you a job. If you go off and do your license by yourself, it can be quite expensive. I think most companies have their own training school and will put you through the training and the tests at no cost to yourself, unless you leave. I think you've got to sign something to say that you won't leave within 18 months or whatever it is for that particular company. Yeah, that can be a bit of a con if you're thinking of being a bus driver. It's not a quick access thing. That's it for now. What have I got? I've got a run light to, not run light, what am I talking about? That'd be nice. Do a 5 to Patcham, and then run light to the garage, and then it's my brake, and my second half, I think it's another 1.5 trips on the 5, something like that. I'll see you in a little bit. I'm back in Patcham, and I've just done a 5 to Patcham, got a 5A back, 5B down and off, and yeah, so I'm going to close this video here. So there you have it, the pros and cons of being a bus driver. While the job has its challenges, and it really does have its challenges, it can also be quite rewarding as well when you get through the day on time, no dramas. It can be quite rewarding. If you enjoy driving, you're a people person, you want a stable job, and you can go through the training, then yeah, fine, become a bus driver, go for it. On the other hand, if you're someone that gets stressed, you don't like long hours, you don't like shift work. I mean, to be fair, I don't like shift work. If there's one thing I would change, it would be that. Yeah, if you're not willing to go through the training to get the license, or you're not confident enough to do it, then maybe bus driving isn't for you. Yeah, at the end of the day, it's up to you to decide. Is becoming a bus driver something that you think you'd be good at? Is it the right career path for you? Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Hit the like button if you did. Really helps the video, helps YouTube put it out to more people. And hit the subscribe button if you want to see more content. And once again, if you see me out driving, or you take a interesting photo, bus related photo, pop it on Instagram with the hashtag #thebusdriverphotographer, and I'll be taking a look. I have had a look, and there's not been any new uploads, so come on, get your cameras out. I'll see you again next time.